Okay. So, first things first. Um, yeah. So today, let's see. I've got a little. I've got a smaller meal tonight because I had Waba Girl for lunch today at work, so that kind of set off balance the rest of my meals a little bit. But I think I've gotten good enough now to where I can manipulate the meals to fit within the macros that I'm looking for. So I just looked up the macros for the chicken bowl from Waba. It was 100. Uh, it was 100 grams of carbs, which is just white rice. So I put that in here. I found 100 grams of carbs for the rice that I normally eat, which is just the jasmine rice, which came out to 131 grams of the actual rice. So that was kind of high. It was about 430 calories for my first meal, which was the breakfast. Um, and then fats, it had about 11 grams of fat, which was 125 calories. For the fats, I used queso fresco, which is cheese, just like Mexican cheese, because it's just fat and it's got some protein in there. But it was about 11 grams of fat, which came out to about 39 grams of cheese. And for the protein, I know it was chicken, but I used seven. What is it? No, I had the bowl had about 38 grams of protein, so that translated over to a round top London broil steak, which is what I usually eat. That was about 7 ounces of steak equals about 38 grams of protein with minimal fat, minimal carbs, about 3 grams each, 3.5 grams each. So that was about 750, 740, which is about the same amount of calories that the website has. So I kind of figured I would just use that for the breakfast. For lunch, I had 5 ounces of steak, 70 grams of cheese, and 60 grams of mixed berries, just because I didn't want to put more rice and because I didn't want to put it to cook because it takes a while. And I kind of just wanted to, you know, scarf down my meal so I can get to the gym because it was already kind of late. So I didn't want to be that much later. So for tonight, it looks like I've got 4 ounces of steak and about 70 grams of cheese, which keeps me at about 1,500 calories for the day, which is what I'm aiming for as I'm in a calorie deficit. I've been in a calorie deficit for about, I don't know, 8 months, 10 months now. My goal is to get to 10% body fat. I was at 18 and I was weighing about 180 pounds. That was my heaviest that I was. Right now, I'm weighing about 148 with about 12.9, 13.1% body fat. So we're getting there. We're getting close. Um, my actual macros, I was doing high protein, carbs, and minimal fats, but I started to notice that that was taking a toll on my body. I didn't realize how important fats were to your system. So I've been trying to figure out the best formula for my body to be able to lose weight, keep my muscle, and not have, my hormones be all over the damn place. Because from the research that I've done, that's what fats help regulate. They help regulate your healing factor. They help regulate your hormones. They help regulate a whole bunch of stuff that obviously I haven't done enough research to know what it does, but I know enough that I want to increase my fats. So I'm prioritizing my fats at the moment. So I've got 59 or about 58 grams of fat for my day. I'm having about 112 grams of carbs and 131 grams of protein. This was based off of the app, or not the app, but the website, the calculator that helps you determine what you should be at if you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to gain weight. I think we've all seen it. I think it's calculator.net or something like that, macro calculator. So I just kind of went off of that and I prioritized my fats. Prior to this, I was at 47 grams of fat a day, and that I felt it was still taking a hit. So I bumped it up by about 10 grams, 11 grams. So now I'm at 58, and I've been having great sleep this week. I haven't been in the green so often with my sleeping device. So, yeah, let's get to it. It's important. We all need our little scale. Let's get a plate. Okay. So this can get tedious. I know a lot of people, they weigh their food. They say to weigh your food when it's raw. Some people say weigh your food when it's cold, weigh your food when it's warm, weigh it when it's raw, weigh it when it's cooked. I think the best advice is to just weigh it consistently. And like if you start weighing it when it's raw, just weigh it that way. It might be a little more tricky. I found it more tricky. The easiest way that I figured out was to you get a pound of steak, you cook it, I air fry it, and you just weigh it once it's already cooked, because that's what you're actually eating. And I know people are gonna say, "Oh, well, you're losing nutrients when it's cooked." I mean, maybe, but it's been working for me. So, what did I say? We're at, what's for dinner? 4 ounces. So let's do, shit, I'm supposed to grab a fork, not a knife. 4 ounces. So this is the Sprouts London broil cut. Did some research. I figured out that it's the same as Top. I mean, obviously it's not exactly the same, but it's pretty similar to Top Round. So from what I've seen, it's the most lean kind of steak that I've been able to find. So I know I said 4, but I don't, I burned some calories today. I'm over. So we're gonna do 4.3, and it loses. I've noticed that when I weigh stuff before and when I weigh it after, it dehydrates. Like when I microwave it and I bring it back, it's usually a lower weight. So I like to keep it a little higher. So I'm doing 4.39. Cook this bad boy. And let's get this cheese. Queso fresco. This is my ish, y'all. I love this. Can't believe I've been living so long without this. I mean, I've always loved cheese, but I always thought that it wouldn't fit. Oh shit. That it wouldn't fit in my macros. And then I realized that I need fats. So I realized that cheese has a high fat content, low carb, adequate protein. Damn, it's like World War II in there. Oh my goodness. It's crazy. But see, this is what I mean, because it's dehydrating the meat, right? So, damn, that's crazy. So if you put it back on here, it's at 4.2. It was at 4.3, whatever. And then while it cools off, well, I guess you can't really see it from there, but while it cools off, the weight is going to go low. Look, it's 4.18, 4.16, you know? So I put it a little over, and then by the time I eat it, it's about 4 ounces, which is what I was looking for. It's probably even going to be less because it got quite dehydrated. And then we're going to do some cheese. What's my intake for this bad boy? This is 70 grams. Yeah, see, I almost want to add more, but I won't let myself do that. I'll just leave it as is. It was for when it's cold, and that's why people say it's like, just be consistent with it, because it's always going to change, you know, whether it's raw, cooked, cold, hot. As long as your weight stays consistent, I always cook it, let it get cold, and then weigh it, and then eat it. So and that's just my rice cooker, y'all. Let's do this now. Switch it to grams. Let's see. I've been getting pretty good at measuring these things, but let's see. 70 is quite a bit. So let's see if I can nail it with one shot. Let's see. Let's see if I can get my 70 grams. Ah, missed by quite a bit. That's about 88. Let's see. 64. And then it gets, like, this is what I was talking about, where it starts to get, like, tedious on, like, the measurements with the temperatures and, you know, because the meat is still cooling down, so it's still losing weight. So, see, that puts me at about 74. I think we'll be okay. 74. I'm still going to be under calories, as I'm currently at a 500 calorie deficit. So, being 40 calories over is not gonna be critical to my part of the diet. I think the most critical part is just being consistent and not flying off the rails when, you know, you're hungry or overeat. But damn, I forgot to use this extra cheese that I had here. Oh well. But anyways, that is my dinner for tonight. I guess we'll see what's in store for tomorrow morning.